Hello, today I'll be setting up my bullet journal weekly spreads for March, weeks 2, 3, and 4. Be sure to check out the beginning of my March setup on my channel. Here is my journal. As you can see, the left side is stained. I've been carefully trying to clean it and not ruin the linen cover, so hopefully I can fade it a little more. I'm starting off with my weekly spread for week 2 by drawing 11 total sections to create a slanted space going across both pages in the middle. I've been having a lot of fun with this Tetris theme because of the colors. So I wanted to go with something different and decided to go with the geometric weekly spread for week 2. Then I'm stamping March, week for the week number, and the calendar at the top before drawing a box around the calendar. I like to stamp these on every weekly spread just to help keep track of the days within that week. Next, I'm stamping out the days of the week and notes for the notes box. I'm still new to using stamps, but I've definitely gotten better at knowing the angle and pressure to use with practice. I'm stamping the date number for each day and drawing a Tetris block for the week number. Then I'm creating a header for the calendar using my Tombow and highlighting the week on the calendar with a different color. I'm drawing 2 small Tetris blocks in 2 of the sections, which I'm going to add more to later. Then I'm drawing out Tetris blocks in the diagonal space across the pages, starting with the vertical lines first, then drawing the horizontal lines to make it easier to draw out all the Tetris blocks. Next, I'm adding color to all of the Tetris blocks on the page, making sure to space out all the colors. I'm still a beginner when it comes to knowing the right pressure with using brush pens, so adding color to larger spaces like this is good practice. After that, I'm adding shadows to each square within the Tetris blocks by drawing a line at the bottom and right of each square. It's harder to see on some colors than others, like the yellow ones, but I think it helps the blocks look more complete. Then I'm using my white pen to create highlights to give the Tetris blocks depth by drawing a line at the top and left of each square and making sure to connect it to the shaded lines. To finish off this weekly spread, I'm stamping the words next and hold in the two sections with the Tetris blocks to imitate the actual game, then writing the first letter of each day of the week above the calendar. Moving on to my weekly spread for week 3, I'm drawing 10 large Tetris blocks total, one for each day of this week, one for the calendar and week number, and one for notes. Then I'm coloring in each Tetris block with the 6 different colors. I made sure to use a lighter color for the top left box where I'm going to be stamping. I decided to go with a really simple weekly spread for this week because my other 3 weekly spreads for this month were kind of detailed and took a while to set up, so I wanted to balance that out. Once that's done, I'm stamping March, week for the week number, and the calendar in the top left block. And once again, I'm drawing a box around the calendar with my Fineliner. Because the background of the calendar is orange, I didn't want to overwhelm it with another color, so I decided to use black washi tape that I cut down. And I used my white pen to write out the first letter of the day of the week, and drew a box around the days for this week with my Fineliner as well. Then once again stamping the weekday and notes for the notes box for each Tetris block. And after that I'm stamping the date number for each day. Next, I'm adding shading to the Tetris blocks on the bottom and right side of the individual squares, same as the ones on the last page, except now I'm only shading the outside edge so that when I'm writing in the boxes, the background isn't too busy. Once that's done, I'm adding highlights the same way as well, only to the outside edge of the top and left side of the blocks before stamping in the week number. The last page to set up is my weekly spread for week 4. I'm starting off by drawing boxes for each day of the week and my notes. I left the top of each box open because I'm going to be stamping there, so I'll add the top line after the stamping is done. Once that's done, I'm stamping the calendar, week, and March, and drawing a box around the calendar with my Fineliner before creating the same Tetris block for the week number as I did in my weekly spread for week 2. Then I'm stamping the days of the week and coloring in the Tetris block for the week number. Next, I'm finishing the calendar by adding the same header and highlighting the week on the calendar, and then drawing out lines for Tetris blocks as a background for this weekly spread. And once again, I drew out the vertical lines first and then the horizontal lines because drawing each individual Tetris block is very tedious, so doing it this way is faster. Next, I'm stamping the date number, week number, and notes for the last box. Then once all the stamping is done, I'm completing the boxes by drawing the top line next to the stamping. I sketched out the words "game over" in the middle box as I wanted something that stuck to the theme, and this is the last weekly spread for March, so I thought it fit perfectly. Then I'm using my Fineliner to color in the areas around the letters before coloring in the rest of the box with black. I went over it twice to make sure it was completely dark. Next, I'm coloring in all the Tetris blocks, making sure to leave a space around the stamping I did earlier, and of course making sure I space out the colors as much as possible. As I'm coloring in the Tetris blocks, I'm not worrying about the outside edges being clean lines because I'll be covering the edge later. Then I'm adding black washi tape around the edges of the pages, which covers the edge of the Tetris blocks. I knew I wanted this page to be as little white as possible to make sure the Tetris blocks stand out in the background, so I did the washi tape to finish it off. I'm also using glue dots under the washi tape to make sure it stays down. I'm filling in the gap of the washi tape around the middle of the page with my black Tombow, and then writing in the first letter of each day in the calendar header. Next, I'm adding shadows to each square of the Tetris blocks, same as before. Lastly, I'm finishing up this weekly spread by adding the highlights to all of the Tetris blocks. Here is the final flip through. I hope you enjoyed. Be sure to subscribe for more weekly bullet journal videos and like and comment as well. Thanks so much for watching.